Hey there, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome back to CNU On The Lawn, your best and only student perspective from a couch every other week. I'm Andrew.
I'm Wyatt, and this week's episode is brought to you by Santa. I met him at the Patrick Henry Mall, and he assured us that we are on the nice list this year.
And speaking of Santa, stick around to the end of the episode where we're going to have a little holiday special bit. But first, we have Kevin Hughes. Let's see, we have a long title. VP of Student Affairs, Dean of Students, King of Emails, and former President and Treasurer of JMU's Student Government Association.
Wow, you guys did some research.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Speaking of research, we have an old picture. I hope this is not an uncomfortable blast of the past for you. From the JMU yearbook. I think that was when you were the treasurer. That's what the caption said, at least.
Yeah. Wow.
But
okay.
we're going to have you sign that at the end for us, and maybe we'll raffle it off.
Maybe we'll do a little raffle
for a lucky viewer.
What memories does that bring up?
Well, looking at some of the people who were in here and even seeing the name, like I remember Steve Zanetti, who's the photographer who took the photo, and then Tracy was our president, and Lisa was our vice president, and I was treasurer, and so anyway,
awesome.
Just a good group of folks.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Long time ago.
Okay, so you've been at CNU for about 24 years, a little bit over.
So this is the start of my 25th.
25th
Congratulations.
year. Wow, that's amazing. So you started, as far as we could tell from your LinkedIn, you were the coordinator of judicial affairs and Greek life.
Yep.
And then you became the director of student life, and then you were the director of checks, and then you were the dean of students, and now you are the VP of student affairs and dean of students. Which of these roles has been your favorite?
I really love what I'm currently doing. It's a great role because it gives me an opportunity to really still be engaged with students individually, but also to work kind of across the university. But every one of the roles has been great. I mean, we have great students, so it makes it pretty easy to love what I do.
Yeah.
So,
What attracted you to CNU and to sticking around and to putting 25 years into this place?
so I came here when I was working on my doctorate.
Okay.
So I was full-time at William & Mary, and I was working here as well. And I really just kind of fell in love with the place. I did not expect to stay at the university this long. I figured I'd finish my doctorate, and then it would be time for me to, move on. But there were some really great opportunities here. You don't get to build and create a university very often.
Yeah.
And we're on the ground floor of building and creating a new CNU. We had this wonderful foundation from CNC, but man, I got to create some stuff that my colleagues across the state have never done. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's been a pretty good ride.
All right. Well, I think we should get into who Kevin Hughes is. I mean, we get these emails every once in a while. We see these big official titles, but who is Kevin Hughes?
Yeah, and I think also, like, not just for current students, but for people who are thinking about coming to CNU, who are you and what is your role here?
Okay. So I've been at the university coming on 25 years now, and during that time, I had already had a son when I started. My daughter was born here,
Nice.
and so I've got two kids. My daughter's currently a junior in college, which tells you it's been a while, and my son's already graduated from college. And I think that really helps shape how I approach things, because I have an understanding a little bit of what the college experience is like for a current student. I'm not just reflecting on my own, but I also have a perspective as a parent of a student.
Sure.
And that's been really, very beneficial for me. I'm a huge sports fan. Some of you may recall from Setting Sail, I talk about the Bears occasionally, and anybody can have a bad century. This just happens to be our century. But there's hope springs eternal, one of these days. So I'm a huge sports fan. I love the Chicago Bears, collect a lot of sports memorabilia, do a lot of reading. For a while, I was doing a lot of running, which I never thought I would do. Not doing as much anymore. Probably need to get back to that. But generally, I love what I do here, and I've got my family, which I love, and that kind of defines who I am.
Yeah. You've been with two presidents now at CNU, starting with Tribble when you first got here, and now Kelly. What has been the changes? What has been different? Is it? I mean, we're not going to ask you to pick a favorite, but just maybe let's what's some of that experience been like?
So when I first got here, President Tribble was in this building mode. And that was super attractive to me. I kind of highlighted that earlier, and gave me the opportunity to be on the ground floor of creating a new university. And I liken it to, here's this picture of what we can be. How do we get there? And how do I help us do that? So we've done that. But then President Kelly comes in and says, hey, there's another layer to the house that you've built, right? Let's build the next layer now. And so they're both really grounded in what can be, the potential, the opportunity. They're both really focused on our student population, which is, for somebody like me who works in student affairs, I want somebody who is invested in our students. And both Paul Tribble and Bill Kelly have been invested in our student experience. You don't always get that in higher ed. And so that part has been absolutely outstanding. So I really feel like we haven't missed a beat with President Kelly. It's just a new level.
So as we've mentioned, you're one of the most tenured people here on campus.
That's a polite way of saying I'm old. Thank you.
I meant it as a compliment. But going off of that, how has your perspective on student affairs, on college engagement, on the university as a whole changed over those 25 years?
Some parts of it are still the same. I really believe in our mission as a regional powerhouse, but a liberal arts and science-based institution, because I think that aligns with what I believe is important in terms of the type of education that a student would get. And it's focused on undergraduates, which I also think is important. I think the evolution really has come in the type of student that has attended the university, and that has changed both in terms of who we were attracting. As we were building into a residential institution, that's bringing a different student in and their investment in the community. And then as we are now building towards this next layer, what does that look like? As we cultivate our relationships with veterans, as we cultivate our relationships with community college students, as we cultivate our relationships with transfer students, as well as the traditional 18 to 22-year-old, that's really attractive too, because there's an element of new building that comes with that. And so those student populations have evolved over time. Obviously there's the COVID experience that has really shaped some of what our college students are going through, and that is something that we're dealing with right now.
Interesting. Well, students obviously bring a lot of culture to the campus. I'd hope at least that's been the case in your experience.
Very much so.
And CNU, as we all know here, has a lot of really nice, strong traditions. What has been your favorite tradition that has been established while you've been here, or that was here that has stayed here?
Yeah, so most of them are since I got here, right? We just had the pancake breakfast, which is one of my favorites. I don't get to see a whole lot of people because I'm in the back making bacon. Big bacon fan. I like the ones that are really owned by our students. We've got some really cool experiences. When all of you sign the honor code, that's pretty powerful. When you're ringing the bell on the first day or your last day, that's pretty powerful. But I think about things like Glow is a pretty cool tradition, right? What the Alphas do with Stroll. I mean, those are things that our students are giving back to our community, that when a future captain from 10 years from now, 15 years from now, or 20 years from now is doing those things, I remember when those started. Yeah. I remember our students doing this. That's powerful. So those are the ones that kind of stick for me.
Nice. Yeah. In student affairs, what does your day-to-day look like, and what are some of the projects or things you're currently excited about or working on?
So my day-to-day can fluctuate. There are a lot of times when I'm in meetings, and the bulk of those meetings are really more strategy, like where are we trying to get to? What are we trying to do? But sometimes they're individual students. You've got an individual student who's struggling that perhaps I've made a connection with, that I'm going to spend some time with. Or they're more programmatic, like what do we have going on that day? Is there something that I need to attend and share some thoughts with? Those kind of things. So they can kind of fluctuate, but a lot of what I'm doing is really more, what's the long-term approach that we're going to take, and how does that affect students? And then there's also, how does it affect the operation, so that we are factoring that in as we take this next step.
Sure.
That sounds like you do a lot of vision setting for the way student affairs is going.
I think that's part of it. Yeah, certainly the strategic compass is really critical for us with that. One of the things that, when President Kelly says this is our strategic compass, he's not kidding. It's students have had a part in this, faculty have had a part in this, administrators, staff members, we've all been able to weigh in. And so now with those as a foundation, what is it that I need to think about as it relates to students and student affairs relative to the strategic compass? And that's pretty exciting because we've had all these people say, these are the things that are most important to us. Now we get to go put those into action.
Do you mind explaining the student compass? Or the
strategic compass? Yeah, so the strategic compass is essentially our strategic plan. When President Kelly got here, he said, I want to see a strategic compass. We're nautical, as you know. We got to have everything related to that.
Gotta have it, right? Gotta have it.
But there's 4 compass points, and the 4 compass points are designed to tell us what is most critical, where we want to devote our time, on our talent, our attention, our dollars. This is where we want to invest. And that helps us understand what our priorities are over the next 5 to 7 years, okay? And so we had opportunities for faculty, staff, students to make comments, suggestions, provide input. We had a variety of different working groups that spent time on how do we hone this down? We've heard all these things, how do we shape this? And we're getting pretty close to rolling it out in final form. That'll probably happen in early February.
Nice.
And that will be our kind of our marching orders going forward. Okay, this exists. This is what's important. We're telling the world this is what's important. Now let's go make it happen.
What can students who are looking to get more involved in the student affairs office or help you guys reach these goals, this vision? How can a student get involved and help you there?
So, variety of different ways. It's the traditional ways. Maybe it's a job on campus, which obviously we have opportunities in our office, student leadership positions, clubs and organizations, those sorts of things. I think one of the things that's really special about this institution, not just in student affairs, but whether it's a faculty member, a staff member, a coach, whomever, if you've got a thought, you can share it with anybody. And those folks know how to bring it forward, or how to channel your direction. Like, okay, so Andrew, you're really interested in this. Okay, so I've got an opportunity. Will you come join me with this, right? And that's how we often get people to have some really cool opportunities and leave your own mark on the institution.
Yes. Kind of in the holiday spirit, what is something from this year that you're really proud of or really want to bring into next year, and what's something that you're looking to change going forward or change for 2025?
Let me get back to the strategic compass and the investment of the community.
Sure.
It's hard to understand this if you are only here, but to see the level of investment of this community in who we are and what we're going to be, that's pretty powerful. And you don't get that everywhere. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what that next step is going to be like. I look forward to some of the celebrations. We've got December graduation coming up. We're really looking forward to celebrating our December grads and doing that again in May, and all the ways of recognizing folks. Things that I wish we didn't have or I would like to change. I want to make sure, and I think this aligns partly with the strategic compass, but I think it's really more about who we are as an institution. How do we bring more people from different walks of life into our community? Whether it's, like we talked about earlier, folks with different backgrounds, or folks who have different life experiences. How do we bring that into the overall educational experience? You think about a veteran and what he or she may have to offer, right? You think about people who come from out of state and the different ways that they understand their experience relative to ours, or folks with different ethnic, racial, faith-based, SES status. All of those things coming into play, that's only going to strengthen who we are. And I look forward to that happening. It's going to take us a concerted effort on our part to make sure that does, and I think that's already occurring.
That's awesome. What is one piece of advice you would give to an incoming student, maybe a freshman who's just started this year, or a freshman who's going to start in 2025? What's something that you think you've learned over these 25 years interacting with college students that could really be helpful to someone?
At our university, there are hundreds and hundreds of people who who want to see you succeed. We don't admit anybody who can't succeed here. Everybody who's admitted can graduate. If you are struggling, tell us. We will get you to the right resources. We will help you get across the finish line, because that's our goal. We want to see all of you graduate. And sometimes I think people can be a little slow to learn that I'm struggling, I'm just going to work harder. Well, maybe it wasn't that you didn't work hard. Maybe you didn't work smart. Maybe you don't know what it takes yet. Whether it's your core advisors or your favorite faculty member or your RA or somebody like that, folks want to help. That, again, is not what you find everywhere. And my advice would be raise your hand and say, I'm struggling, I need help.
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been great to have you. Stick around for a little holiday special with your favorite hosts.
Ho, 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 and welcome back to CNU On The Lawn. We decided to do a little gift exchange among us working on the podcast. So
the specifications were it had to be under $10 and from a thrift store.
Yes.
Because we did not want to spend too much.
No,
we are broke college kids. But
yes,
anyway.
absolutely. Well, I will start. Peter, I was told you like golf, and you're a freshman, so you need some decorations for your room. So I found this little golfing Santa, and I think it would look great in your room.
This is fantastic, and I know exactly where I'm going to put this.
Okay,
so,
awesome.
I already have a spot for my little Santa right here.
Yeah.
He looks perfect for the set.
I'm going to put him right here. Yeah, I'm going to put him right here for now.
Yeah, for now. Okay.
Okay, so I am giving a gift to Anetta. My gift is in my backpack.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to spoil it, guys.
Yeah, no. There we go.
Okay. Oh.
I got ornaments. I don't know if you have like a tree at home or if you just wanted to put them up somewhere in your dorm. Okay, perfect.
We could definitely use this.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mine is for Wyatt. I couldn't really find anything related to photography,
That's
anything
okay.
cool, but I found some records.
Oh, I have a record collection.
Awesome. There's some classical music.
Okay.
I have Antonio Vivaldi, and I have Debussy.
Okay.
And I also have some Dean Martin, not really classical.
Oh, I do like Dean Martin.
Yeah.
That's so neat.
And I got you a
Nice.
hat and a tote bag that comes with it.
Oh, the tote bag part of it.
Yeah, like 8 gifts. Let's go.
Yeah.
You're sick. Thank you so much. Okay, let me try and put all this away. I, of course, bought for Andrew.
Oh.
Now,
Yay.
I was going through a thrift store. I didn't see a whole lot of clothes that like connected with you or like anything I thought you would like wear. But
Were you
then I
looking in the
saw,
children's section?
I may have browsed the toddler area, but we were talking about movies, and they had a huge collection of DVDs.
Okay.
So first is just this one, because we were talking about movies you liked.
I do like movies. Oh my God, it's Elf and The Princess Bride.
These are two.
I love Elf so much, and The Princess Bride is one of my favorites.
Now the
Make sure to
problem
keep
was
watching it.
at that point I'd spent $2, and I felt like I was
God.
cheaping you out if I
no.
only spent $2. So I took some calculated risks on the rest of the
Alright.
movies.
Oh, this is just oh my God, lovely. Okay,
We just kind of went based on vibes.
well, I love just movies, period. You might be a redneck if, and check your neck. Okay, I've never heard of this, but it sounds like
It's
a
Jeff
watch.
Foxworthy comedy special.
Okay. All right,
Again,
all right.
we went.
Justin Bieber, Never Say Never.
These are
That's
very
that's
calculated.
perfect. How did you know?
I just thought I was
okay.
just taking some personality cues. I don't know.
Oh, 2.5 Men. Okay, this is a DVD collection. That's wonderful.
season 1, I believe.
Oh, great. Well, I haven't seen season 1, so I would have been worried if it was season 2.
Actually, that is season 2. That might be season 1.
Oh,
I got both
perfect.
of them. I didn't know.
Okay, so I've got a whole watch list now.
Yeah.
Okay, The Devil Wears Prada. Okay, this feels like a call out.
I just thought,
I think Anetta might have wanted that gift.
Yeah. Okay, and I've got one left in here. The Andy Griffith Show. 4 episodes of The Andy Griffith Show. In case, not 1, not 2, but 4. Okay, wonderful. Well,
I just wanted to give you some,
that's great. That's great.
We went out on a limb.
Yeah, well, I think it was a good limb. I think it was a great limb. Yeah.
Well, Merry
Okay.
Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Okay,
Happy
well,
holidays.
Happy holidays. That's much more.
Sorry. Happy holidays.
Well, with the new year coming up as well, we thought we would talk about one thing we are thankful for or excited about 2024, and one thing we're excited about for 2025. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Who wants to start?
Peter should
I don't know
start.
why
Peter
everyone's
looks
looking at
like
me
he's
just
ready
because
to
I
go.
sit on this side. But I guess my best memory of 2024 has been probably moving to Christopher Newport and like being here. I've made so many new friends. You know, I've reconnected with so many old friends like that I didn't even know were going here. I met them. I'm very thankful for my job too. I'm very happy I've gotten to meet all of you guys, and that's probably my best memory of 2024.
Awesome. Well, this year, mostly during this fall semester, starting back in August, I started this documentary project on my maternal grandfather, who I'm really close with, and it's been super rewarding, super fun to interview him and ask him and get to know all these cool stories that he has. And so we're almost done with filming that, and most of 2025 will be spent editing it. So
right.
I guess I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, it's just been a really, really fun experience and a cool way to get closer with him.
Yeah. I think for me, 2024 has been awesome, but me and my boyfriend are celebrating a year now of being together, which was a big deal for us. And yeah, so I'm excited because in 2025 I graduate, and not to say that I am ready to get rid of you guys, but I am ready to start a new chapter of my life.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome. I think for me, what I'm like, what was it again?
Good memory from 2024?
Best memory from 2024, I think will probably be meeting my friends at CNU as well, and just getting to meet amazing people, because obviously coming and transferring to a new school, you don't think you're really going to click, but I found my people instantly, and that's something I'm really grateful for. Next year, I'm just looking forward to more learning and growing, because obviously this year has been a lot of that, and I'm just looking forward to more opportunities.
Awesome.
Yeah.
well,
That's it from us.
That's it.
we're seeing you on the lawn, and we'll be seeing you on the lawn
Next year?
next
Next
year.
year.
Yes.
Yeah.